I think Secret is much more like farm oriented, and I think they're still kind of stuck in that. With the way that I was watching them play earlier, where they tried to go against CDEC and they rotated their heroes to mid, and they were trying to push down this tower, and it took them like 2 minutes because wasn't Shiki actually. It was the support Lina was just spamming out Dragon Slave. Like that was really bad. Where you would see other teams who are faster momentum would be able to capitalize and very quickly dismantle a tower and take objective. Secret was rather slow at that. So I think that in order to make up for some of the weakness they have in that area, I think they need to make sure they win the laning phase. And I think Piladai is probably one of like the faster gankers in the game, where he's always able to find that opening to be really disruptive in the laning phase.
A lot of times I think that when teams play versus Pheonix, it's like, okay, we'll get to the mid game, and this is what our game plan is. Like, their whole drafts around, like, they're drafting around getting to the mid game unscathed and having some sort of team fight, but, like, they don't take into account the laning phase enough, which is where I think MVP is like, okay, we'll just win the lanes, we'll play from there. And their game plan is just to fruition much earlier. But the Spirit Breaker, I think, is a nice pick coming out from Puppy. It's very good versus Nature's Prophet. And they can actually be the aggressors instead of constantly trying to rotation.
That also means that MVP would be very unlikely to pick a bounty against Spiritbreaker. Spiritbreaker is like extremely good against that hero in the early game. You like all your movement just really doesn't do anything if you have a support SP just walking around the map and charging people. So
at the same time, MVP Pheonix have just picked up another again the mid that is really hard to gank, and you doppelgang at the right time. You should never be hit by the charge. I think that's a pretty smart response by MVP Pheonix.
Also pretty ambiguous because it can be mid, but it also can just as easily be safe lane. Like it's not set in stone.
It just kind of worked out for the mid PL. We had a decent mid matchup.
He had 2,000 range ganks.
Yeah, it's like, who has to know about how it works as well. Pretty basic. Like, run the mid PL. You had ganks going for you too. On top of that, Weehawk got first blooded by QO.
Yeah. When
they ran into the river engagement. Just pretty much everything swung MVP Pheonix for the first time.
They are very likely to be able to get another kind of heavy rotating lineup though, because they already have the Nature's Prophet. There's going to be one support left in the pool that can rotate to the mid lane.
They can always go back to the Wisp too. I think Febby is actually pretty darn good in that on that hero, and I've seen them run Wisp back too in one of their recent games. Decent synergy with Nature.
That was the old March special.
Yep.
It was like,
yes, it was.
What do we do? Let's just run at them.
Oh.
Phoenix's turn to pick.
Do they actually go with Tiny and for the big cleave hero against Phantom Monster? Especially the Blink Dagger, it's decent for because Nature's Prophet is hard to split push against that as well.
Sven would have been really sick.
Yeah,
Then I just realized that.
But it was already found out.
So now MVP Pheonix has to be thinking, okay, well now they're going to run with Tiny mid. PL's probably not going to fare too well versus that. And now they're probably switching Phantom Lancer to off lane, Phantom Lancer to safe lane, Nature's Prophet off lane, and thinking about solutions to deal with the Wisp. Or do you think they just be like, okay, well, whatever, they can run that, we're just going to run our own?
You just run your own.
You just run your own thing?
Okay. Let the draft develop at least the fourth pick. Side. Phoenix seems pretty comfortable though. Or with. Benji doesn't really give up too much. I was gonna say like 3 combos right now that are really popular are the Tiny and the Sven, right? And you probably rated like the Sven the highest against the DL. But Phoenix knows that. And the next best Tiny.
I think there's an okay thing for CA as well, because they have like no illusion clear at all on MVP Phoenix. Like you get a Lucky Phantasm, get an extra illusion, you can just wreck. And granted, then you would have to rely pretty much entirely on Invoker to kill PL, of the illusions at least.
The bounty anyway.
Yeah.
But I think it's just gonna run at them, make sure that IO can't stack up the jungle, and just take control of that mid lane very early with the Nature's Prophet and the Bounty Hunter coming in. I think they're focusing a lot of effort on that lane.
I think they actually pick it now because they probably realize that it's going to be Spirit Breaker, most likely, I guess, off lane at this point, right?
You can easily have them babysit Invoker in the safe lane. So
yeah.
It's not that big a deal. I mean, you're versus the Nature's Prophet. Doubt it's A-okay.
I think it just depends. Are there any offlaners that would be really valuable right now? Or Team Secret? Void's not bad.
What about Tide?
But I think it's a bit slow.
Tide's pretty good. Yeah,
we did it. Good
Well
against
played.
PL.
Hmm.
And they're pretty much... Oh, they got an okay amount of nuke damage, I guess. They have single target.
You want some sort of AoE setup for Tiny Wisp to be able to win.
I think the Tidehunter is too long of cooldown. I think when they run it, they actually want like shorter duration, or shorter cooldown ultimate to set up for Wisp Tiny. Sometimes you'll see Centaur, sometimes you'll see LC, sometimes you'll see Magnus, Tidehunter. Like all of these kind of work. Bat Rider
Actually,
also.
LC's really good against that.
Yeah, I think LC is actually the best of these. It's also really good at clearing PL illusions.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's not that great versus the bench because it's defensive swap.
Yeah, it pulls you a little bit out of position, but I don't think it's actually that bad, like
Yeah.
most of the time.
Like land and invoker combo too on the dual target. That's
Yeah, it's insane.
You're done for.
Yeah, in this lineup, you actually wouldn't need that much farm priority to get kills. Any combo and invoker, you're just dead. Like, can't live through that.
I think part of the reason why they took the back anyways, even though the Spirit Breaker's good, part of it is like Spirit Breaker's so tanky. He doesn't really care about back clicking him a nuisance. But I think if you're a team that Pheonix and you don't have a super veteran captain, you're just gonna stick to the stuff that you practice no matter what. You're not gonna force your team to unknown waters and say, "Hey guys, they banned out our strats. Let's let's do something a little different here that fits them." Or just do what we know. Make them play around us, not the way around.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
Is it still really, is Bounty Hunter still really relevant in terms of, like, if you're fighting a lot and trading?
Yeah, it's their point.
Yeah.
And MVP are always going to trade if they take fights,
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
will eventually get a kill, so
It's even like good
it's like a
against
safety
the...
net.
Yeah, it's good against the Wisp too, because oftentimes like the Tiny and the Wisp are just somewhere off on the map, and the Bounty can hunt them all the time, look for potential teleports, and kill the Wisp. Like, very easy for the to blow up Wisp. Like a Shuriken, a Magic Missile, and a Lance, and that hero's freaking dead. Not really much you can do about it. But some sustain now for Secret. They get Dazzle.
The Secret team looks scary. Doesn't feel like MVP are going to have a great time running at them at all.
I think that they did a pretty good job of adapting, honestly, Secret. They have a lineup now that's not really cooldown reliant. Like, they don't need to wait for anything except for pretty much just the IO hitting 6. Now, the MVP win the game by that point.
Who's
Alright.
this guy?
Back. His name.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Core
It's just
Lesh.
another first. Is it first Lesh? It is, right? Yeah.
Alright, and yeah, so these guys will get ready. Puppy just sat back down, and they'll be getting into the game momentarily and refer to the commentators. But before we do, we're going to ask our two couches if they still kind of stick with their picks from earlier, or if you would like to kind of be swayed by the draft. So,
We're sticking.
Maybe because
Yeah.
I was like, secret all the way in with this draft.
We're sticking, dude.
Alright, he's coerced me. The weird thing is, I'm the MVP fan, and I was gonna go secret.
Why are you stop believing, dude? They're on a roll. It's 3-0. They have core less. They don't even care. God, they have no fear. They just pick whatever they want. Anything.
Alright, sure.
Alright. Staying with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Secret again.
Yeah, you think it's just a much better draft?
Well, again, I think it's really important when you're playing against MVP to always be able to fight at any point. So yeah.
Oh, versus the bounty hunter. That's a great idea.
Oh, good luck, have fun have been called. So we're going to go into the next match, a huge match for MVP and also Secret. Remember, if Secret lose this, they'll have to play again today, and fatigue can really kick in the group stages. So they're going to want to tie this one up and take it out. But we'll go over to the commentators. Get ready to see the results of the game, really. Let's just watch the game. I don't know what I'm doing, Cap. Thanks.
So eloquent and stylish, James. Thanks for the handoff, and welcome back. I'm Toby1. I'm here with Cinderin, as we'll take you through MVP versus Team Secret. MVP, they've had 3 games, and, well, it may not even be a surprise. I don't think we've even clocked an hour worth of in-game time for their 3 games so far, Sind.
I mean, that is a surprise, but it's not a surprise. It's starting not to be a surprise anymore that they do it when you do it over and over again, but I have higher hopes for Secret this game. I think they got a way better draft against what MVP have than in the previous one, and I'm just happy we get to see Leshrac. I actually think this hero is a bit forgotten. Of course, he got nerfed quite a lot, but can definitely still work. I think Alliance had quite a bit of success with it in Captain's Draft. Granted, it's different, but still.
Yeah, they've been running him in mid.
So this
Well, we start off the same way we started Candle 1. A bottom rune fight going off. Maybe got a lot of early information. They just keep throwing these stuns out. The stun strike, though, going to hit pretty nicely into MP Puppy. He's already pretty low, but the first blood spill is still a Shrek that will drop first. Puppy to follow directly after. Misery's got charge in 2 seconds time, and this will allow him to catch up to Dubu. Even with the Fairy Fire, this will not be able to save the Vengeful Spirit unless he can get a perfect block stun. Not going to happen. Pilot Eye's last attack will kick in. So this time as Team Secret, they take the, well, in a way, the advantage from the fight because they get First Blood and 2-1, but they're still taking some time to get into their lanes.
And they didn't get any bounty runes, so overall it's fairly even. Yeah, since it's taking them longer to get into lanes, this might actually favor MVP. It's pretty close regardless, which is obviously way better for Secret than what happened in the last game, so better start. You made alright, never mind, they are not off to a better start. They are not used to playing against Bounty Hunter anymore, and they get their Courier Knife between the two towers mid, so...
At least it didn't have anything vital on it. Like, that's the upside. Like, it had just a TP scroll on it.
Yeah, Pi gets his bottle. I think, did they ferry that in with the...
It came through Puppy.
Dazzle? Yeah, he carried it in. Okay. Then it's not too bad. If the bottle is on that is game-losing stuff. You lose 3 minutes of momentum in mid lane.
Febby? It walks straight underneath the tower. Orb of Venom takes the aggro from the tower. For Rev, the damage is actually going to be enough. The Sunstrike ticking in from Weeha. He looks for the revenge. The charge is on top of Febby. For Rev's just going to TP himself out here. The Spirit Breaker charge is a little bit too far away. I think Febby realizes he is definitely dead. Puppy will take the solo kill in that one. But again, Weeha starting off the game with a death. Not the dream for him, at least.
Yeah, very good trade for MVP. Giving us support away. Again, they seem to be focusing Weeha very much so far. I don't know if they're focusing the player or the hero, but Invoker in the previous game got run over in lane, this time off to a bad start as well. And similar to last game, Kyo in the mid lane not being pressured nearly as much, and it's just the nature of Secret's lineup. IO Tiny is not very good at pressuring a PL super early on. Gonna start getting difficult once Tiny gets a few levels though.
They got a sentry over on Puppy. They're gonna throw it down, looking for that kill over on Febby. Febby's almost out of range to Sunstrike. Oh, he only just barely missed. The charge comes in from Misery, but well, he only gets the initial hit. He's gonna match Febby. He walked back in range of the sentry ward. Team Secret will take the aggro from the Aegis and drag him away.
How cocky can you be?
Febby is trying to deny himself at the moment.
He already knew they had a sentry because he was getting hit after the charge. And he still chooses to walk back in. Well, now he should definitely know where that sentry is.
But he wanted to die. I think QO is looking to do a bottle refresh, so the bounty will TP in a moment. That's why QO was spamming out everything he's got to drop Pilot Eye down, but it's... I don't know. Spam just isn't really good enough. He has to wait another 3 seconds till his TP's back off cooldown. And there's that stacking the panel was talking about in the jungle. Preparing for the flash farm of Eternal Envy.
Got one. Is that one double stack only so far?
Yeah, only one.
Yeah. Well, it's 3 minutes in, so there's still plenty of time before he actually.
They're going to get on top. Weeha this time. This time he's out of range of the tower, but Ferev's got Puppy to deal with. But they don't have another sentry ward in order to get the vision, so Weeha dropping down. That obvious Puppy's going to keep him up.
But MVP are... What I really like about their playstyle so far is that they're emphasizing aggression. They want to make moves all the time and force Secret to rotate. And even if they don't find kills, Secret have to, play their game. And it prevents them from stacking very much. It keeps them on their toes, and they don't get into their comfort zone, which is... Secret are good at playing a slower early game and just building up. But they're definitely not letting them do this. It seems very deliberate against this team from MVP to do that. I guess they did it against EOM too. Maybe they just do it every game? I don't know. So far so good, right?
It's the classic, just keep going at them so you can't get a rhythm mid. Like, isn't this what you're meant to be doing with the off-laners in this current meta anyway? Like, you're always trying to keep your attention to the off-lane so the ports can't attack into the mid, but MVP, they're just attacking everywhere, just like bottom lane, they're gonna TP in, Split Earth Stun hits, the Sprout holds them in, and there goes Misery.
And there goes the tower. This is a safe lane Leshrac, Diabolic Edict, the best ability in the game to push towers with early.
One interesting choice as well that he actually goes for that over something like the Lightning, because you could have just played the lane harassment, but knowing you got an Aegis Prophet, you level up the Split Earth, you level up the Edict, and you know it's all about the push, and he even puts now the third point up into Diabolic Edict. There is no way to stop this.
I like this choice so much simply because Secret are not fighting ready. They can't do
again?
Oh no.
Again? This time it actually has something bigger and it had Puppy's boots on it, it has smoke, it has dust, it has an observer ward.
Oh boy.
This is the kind of stuff that's got to send you to a tilt. And you're losing your bottom tier 2 tower as well. What are you gonna do? You're gonna burn your fortification?
2 couriers lost, 2 towers lost, and there's no reason for MVP to not just continue. The Dazzle support is not strong right now. The IO support is not strong right now. Spirit Breaker is level 2. Tiny's level 4. They can actually just, I think they could literally just go 5-man mid and take this tower as well, with very little risk. If they get any sort of pick off, tower's theirs. It goes so quickly that Secret will not even be able to respond. Good news for them, though, is that finally Misery gets some levels right now. They've pushed so many creeps into his base that this should get him at least level 4. So that's something.
That is definitely something.
But the Prophet's almost level 6, and that's the one you want to compare him to. Yeah. That hero's flat out just
Eternal
better
Envy
than
is dead.
yeah.
The Whisper's TPing in right now. How quick can Highlight Eye get there? And, well, okay. They're actually going to have Puppy take some damage, but they're going to be okay. Highlight is still dealing with a massive PL illusions. But as you said, like, how do you even stop this kind of push from Team Secret? What real deep push have you got apart from a 2-2 combo for Eternal Envy? There's still a level 4 Tiny 6 minutes in. Again, it's now a level, like, it's a level 3 Diabolic Edict. They at least have their fortification to try and, like, slow down this push in the mid.
They should really use that while Edict is running. They use that kind of late. I guess it overlays more or less.
A little bit.
Yeah,
like, you maybe got, like, 1 second.
Yeah.
1 second between when the Edict runs out and the fortification's still going.
Secret are not ready. I think, I was going to say it was very good that they dodged that gank because it defended their tower. I'm not sure. Doesn't seem like it. They're tossing in creeps. It's the only way they can deal any damage right now to MP. Just standing at the side. Pure.
Oh, look at that. Like, the TP in from Forever, the back lines. He's trying to control up Pilot Eye so QO can keep the lanterns flying. Pilot Eye is out of bottle charges. He's actually tethered himself to Puppy of all players. Now, you've already lost your mid-tier 1 tower. The Sunstrike is going to be soaked up by Febby as well as QO. That's what keeps QO alive. But then they got another rune on bottom to pick up. And MVP just keep the rotations going. You've claimed 3 towers in 7 minutes. And again, MVP, they're ripping apart the net worth train. Like, they have 5,000 net worth in 7 minutes. Yeah, the experience isn't as great, but they're getting so much money onto a team which is getting Bounty Hunter and Misery dead once again. MP actually delaying his stun. He started up the animation, then realized that wasn't going to be the greatest thing in the
I
world.
think he cast Edict first.
Yeah, you're actually right.
Yeah.
He cast Edict first.
I don't think he needed it, but, you know, better safe than sorry, right? Just get the kill, done with it, and move on. And I think the next target's got to be top lane, and I don't see any reason to wait.
They're going again.
Weeha's in trouble. They do not have dust, actually, and they don't have anything
damage?
to stop that. Oh.
That was close.
Alright, Couriers respawn. Fib, you know what to do.
You can finally get boots.
Yeah.
Hang on, Kenny. Kenny, where's the bounty? The bounty
He's
is...
already looking for it.
He's actually running over to where the stacks are, where Puppy is currently doing the big stacks too.
No, this is not.
Well, especially when it's a flying courier, and they're using speed. They've been so defensive with that courier.
Oh, if he can steal half the experience from this stack, well, he won't. He'll steal a quarter, but that's still really, really good. He can get in range. He's trying to hide in the side here.
Is he trying to drag that? Yeah, he's trying to stay clear of the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
And he also doesn't know where the sentry ward is.
It's difficult for Secret. Oh, he's walking in.
Oh, he's almost gonna kill Envy! So low, HP, the Orbit is ticking him down! Envy he got killed by a neutral creep! Ah, nothing could go right for Team Secret. Pilot dies on the hillside, the Wave of Terror is gonna miss him, but now they actually put a tree up on the hill, they see him too! Misery will die! It is an absolute calamity right now! Team Secret lose 3, the bounty was lost as well! But who really cares? Team Secret, they're losing their cause. They're not getting everything they need. They've lost their tier 1 tower on top lane. And what stops MVP from just keeping on going?
Oh my god. That, I don't even know what to say. That's so unlucky. It's actually unbelievable. I mean, at least Envy died to the neutrals, right? He could have also died to the bounty, so it could have been even worse. But that one troll killing him off, and then tethering onto the cliff, getting stuck. They lose their tower and almost the tier 2. Yeah, they
Duper's gonna stop it. No, he actually gets bumped back by the charge. The Sunstrike's on target for Forever, but only moves half of the life, so VS goes down. And with the lands from QO, he slows down Pilot Eye enough. They haven't got the vision over on that Forever Nature's Prophet, so he's able just to run himself away. Meanwhile, Febby is now soaking up his level 6 on bottom lane. So all of these fights that have been happening, in under 10 minutes you've removed almost, like, there's still only 2 tier 2 towers left, and the top one's at half life. You basically removed 4.5 towers from this map in under 10 minutes against Team Secret. And who says the meta is dead?
Yeah, they're just doing it in a very different way. it's kills into towers, and they don't even have that many kills, but they're just taking so much advantage of very small openings. Now it's going to get harder, though. Secret has less towers to defend, so they can be more ready now in the right places, and they're getting their levels. The key abilities to get right now is obviously Tiny getting level 8, and maybe, I don't know if he's going to get a blink after this drum.
I don't know if that's going to be enough. Envy's dead again.
Level 6
with a
on
stun.
the-
MP,
yeah.
look at the Pulse Nova just going to work. Envy,
Good
they
toss.
throw him away. There's no lining this bomb down, and Misery's charging his way forward. Going onto Dubu. Puppey is here as well, but Misery, the Shallow Grave, will let him keep fighting forever. He's going for the big hit. He's going after Eternal Envy, while Misery, the Shallow Grave, finally wears down. Piladai actually gets stunned up as well. It's 2 heroes down for Secret. Weehart's going to follow it. So is Eternal Envy. Team Secret, they're staring down the barrel of a team wipe at the moment as Weehart will go underneath the tier 2 tower just to die. Puppey, the only one to survive after he TP'd out. And MVP, they don't have to stop for anything, man. They just keep going. As it looks like the admin's actually asking for a pause for 1 minute as we have an error. What error?
Make sure MVP aren't cheating. Quickly pause the game, look through the game files. There's something wrong today with MVP.
Yeah,
Do they have like, does their team get like double gold or something? Oh, bottom lane, reload.
They're not pausing, they keep going for it. Tossed up in towards the air, so that at least they get some kind of kill here, and Puppey is now going to pause this. As Forev did go down, but the top tower is still being taken out.
It's the admin distraction strategy. They actually...
Well, we're not back at Finol stage, man.
They got a kill on Forev, and then they paused. It's like, okay.
Okay. So, just a quick issue, but they can work through it. But MVP, man, what a run they're having at the moment. Like, they hold the top 3 net worths on the field. I don't even know how you kill off the Leshrac. Like, he's walking around with both a Vit booster and a point booster. He's got so much life on this Leshrac that, like, Team Secret, they can't really answer it, because where does your damage come from? Not coming from an Invoker, because MVP targeted him again, so it's a 0-2 Invoker. And Eternal Envy, like, mid lane didn't work for him. The jungle worked against him. How do you battle? And Piladai can't help him out. Like, all they can do is Shallow Grave, but seems to only delay the inevitable.
You're looking at Secret's lineup, and right now I think like 90% of their damage is magical. They have very little physical damage output that's any threat. So if you're MVP right now with this kind of lead, you can go into this Bloodstone with Leshrac as it looks like, and you can just start pairing BKBs or just any sort of magic resistance. If you want to end the game early, you can get Mech Pipe. The Bounty Hunter should be able to get Mech pretty early. You can look toward a Pipe on the Nature's Prophet or vice versa if they want. Looks like it is the Orchid again that he built in the previous game as well. I think they have so many options. At this point, when you have so much map control minute 11, it's so difficult to lose the game. Like, you almost need to actively try to overextend to put yourself in a bad position. Because you can, as long as you have map control in the enemy jungle, you have a Bounty Hunter scouting out for you, you can just play safe and play a farming game as well and just out-farm them. Secret will be so scared of moving out anywhere because they can't see Bounty, they know Prophet will be joining if there's any fight breaking out, so they're always +2 up.
I'm wondering if you even have to, like, if that's a risk that MVP shouldn't take, like, to go back and play the farming style game.
I don't think they should. I think they should. They're doing well with this, so why not?
Especially, like, what
They just have
happens
so
if
many
you
options
do
now.
give, like, Invoker space? Like, he picks up, like, he's got his Midas, so at least he's farming, like, slightly efficiently from that, but if Tani does get a couple of kill combos, MVP are worth a lot if they can be killed. Then, yeah, they have a risk, but at this point, they look unkillable, so if they run up, they take a rack. Like, I know we're only 12, like, we're not even 12 minutes into the game, and we're already thinking about what if MVP push him through the top.
Oh yeah, there's track too.
Yep. You got track, you got no relocate available. Pileye just used this, so there's no saving grace on that one. Nether Strike's on cooldown for 25 seconds. The Dazzle doesn't even have weave, so you don't even worry about the armor shift. I don't think you worry about anything really coming out from the Dazzle, because eventually you're going to find the kills anyway.
You're definitely not pushing until you have Prophet, though. Like, going 4 and 5 in the enemy base
very
now
true.
is such a high...
So you just rotate into the mid lane then. You take out the tier 2 tower, and that successfully removes all of Secret's outer towers by 13 minutes.
That's fine. Then you can look for the Roshan from, like they did in the previous game, control that area, and then go from there. Looks like they might... Okay, this is very I think they're going to back up this way.
It may just be trying to force Secret to defend. And that's all. Or see what they've got up there at least.
Yeah, they get a track out on the Wisp, and now they're going to rotate away. Another thing MVP can do if they want, they can buy a gem. It's a little bit high risk, you know, because then if they get caught with it, you give the enemy team a gem against your bounty, and that's obviously not that great. But at the same time, if they take full map control, if they remove all secrets wards, nowhere is safe. Alright, this is a minute 12 bloodstone.
Yeah. You want more records coming up on MVP? Like, last time it was QR on the PL that just, like, shredded it apart. Right now, MP is looking really damn good.
Yep. He is pretty farmed. Curious to see his next item. I think BKB is a very, very solid choice, like I mentioned earlier. If he wants to look to be like super stat efficient, you could think about something like, of course, get a Shiva's Guard very early. You could go for an Axe if you really believe in the ultimate damage output. Blink Dagger isn't half bad either. So many choices that are good this game. The nice thing about Blink is that it makes it easier to split push, and you can always just avoid the relocate. There's the Spirit Breaker. That's like a wild card. So, see what he does. Very curious to see his build up.
QR is playing this so smart. Like, he understands the other lanes are not being defended right now. They also have an Observe Ward. It's fairly shallow, considering their current position with the towers down 13 minutes in. It's a rather shallow ward inside the secret jungle. Don't get a lot of information out of that, but MP, like, the pressure starts up again. There is fortification from Secret, but they don't have to burn it for this. Like, right now, Weeha probably believes you can defend this, but the creep wave is gone. But they keep poking and prodding and forcing more of Team Secret to retreat. Gives more and more space to Cure, and he can just BT himself, and he bought Boost of Travel when he TP'd back to base previously. And, well, now Dazzle, is that Puppy actually going to TP on the outside? Yeah, it is. So he TP's in around the back, throws out the weave. The tier 3 tower is almost dead. They didn't use fortification at all. But now they see more of Team Secret have come back. QR can be a little bit more aggressive on that bottom lane.
Yep, TP is enough information. Yep, they almost got tier 3 for free. I think they can just chill, wait out the weave, and go again. It's expiring in like 3 seconds, so...
They also have the mech on
very good timing.
Got to keep that in mind coming into this fight. So they've got the mech over on him. They've still got the VS swap. Misery charging himself forward. Actually swaps Leshrac out, which puts Dubu in a real world of hurt. Febby actually refuses to use the mech in this situation to save his VS. There's a lot of tracks up already in Team Secret. They're going to relocate out Leshrac instantly onto Weeha. They do not see Febby, however. The Observers and Sentries down for MVP. They trigger off the dust. That did actually hit the Bounty Hunter, slowing him down. So will the Ice Wall. He throws the Shuriken, tosses out, but the relocate drags him out, and another stun from MP, turning on the Pulse Nova. Eternal Envy, they have to kind of run away from this one. Parnay will come back into the fight, but Misery, he's just melting. MP is so low on life, they do not want to lose him. They're going to anyway. Dazzle gets 708 gold, 14 minutes in. Febby will actually go down as well. Puppy with double kill, claiming 1,000 gold for these 2 kills. And now QO, he comes to join the fight, and he'll look to take away the streak of Puppy. The Prophet's also going to TP in too, who kills Secures in the top of the riverside.
Damn, that attack from Puppy killing Lesh definitely caught Lesh by surprise. He took like 90 damage from a Dazzle right click. Had so much minus armor from the Weave, so he didn't get to Bloodstone Suicide. It's a pretty good hold for Secret, I think. That's something their lineup is really good at. If they get ahead in a fight, they're so good at chasing. Spirit Breaker, IO, Tiny, obviously. Even the Invoker with a drum. Plenty of move speed.
The big question for me right now is that tier 3 tower just looks so enticing. Is this actually baiting like MVP to push beyond their means at the moment? Like, we're still 15 minutes into the game. Try and siege into a tier 3 tower. Like, it's a nice stun over on Puppy. The trees are doing some work, but the tower's still at 96 HP. The catapult is slowly actually winning this push for MVP. MVP is going to deny up the tower. And do they keep on going? There's no fortification available here for Team Secret, so the Edict will be pretty damn effective.
Good weave deployed here into Bounty and Lesh, so they're going to wait. Misery was thinking about it.
But TP's in again.
This track damage, Shuriken rather, is starting to become a problem.
Now he's also realizing another problem. That Orchid from Ferev's just arrived. A 16-minute Orchid up for Nature's Prophet. But MVP, it still feels like they're forcing the issue before they really have to. And you're seeing Weeha catching up the net worth. He's up to 7k gold net worth now for the Invoker. It may not mean that much considering like MVP's pushing power, but Rubber Band could easily start snapping back in MVP's face.
I need to be a little bit careful. Still have a 7,500 lead. But this item, I think, is the biggest pickup that Secret have had so far this game. I think the Blink Dagger and Tiny is really what can get the
And they're going to
game
use
started
the
for
smoke.
them.
And he jumps. Envy, well, instantly orchid it up. QO actually dodges with a doppelganger the charge, but he gets bounced back out. And Weeha's there to finish the job. Now is Dubu, a perfect deafening blast, catching out 2 MVP players. Febby, he's dust up as well as a double kill for Weeha. And Team Secret, they are punishing MVP, and MP just keeps going forward with the avalanche toss. Misery, okay, MP just wheels back in mid-air. 4 heroes down for MVP. And Team Secret now, how do you try and punish this? Think of Roshan, or do you think of Towers?
I think you get this mid-tier 1. Well, they might actually not even have time for that. The game is still so early. You get a team wipe. The heroes respawn after like 25 seconds, but they could try for it. There is a glyph. They will be using that. I don't think Secret will get that this time around, but that Blink Dagger from Envy immediately paying off. I'm actually,
They're coming in.
it's understandable that he went for the drum first because he just wants to tank up and get some stat-efficient items, so they have a chance against MP's very quick aggression. But you just saw that Blink Dagger, maybe he should have got it before the drum. Like, just rush Tread's Blink. Won them a fight single-handedly.
Well, it's less greedy than game 1 still. Now, like, Team Secret. Okay, MVP are going to smoke up as 3. Duo is not being involved in this one, and neither is Farev, but obviously Farev can just TP in. He doesn't actually have his Wrath of Nature, actually does in 1 second time, so that just came off cooldown, and they
Envy.
find Eternal Envy. He walked into it, so the
Oh, he
track
bought
is
his
up,
Pun Booster, he
and
doesn't buy back
Eternal
now.
Envy is going to go down.
45 seconds, no buyback. If they notice that, they might be able to just claim an objective. Yeah, they
They're
get
just going
Roche.
Roshan.
The question is if they wanted to try to defend that with a buyback if he had it, but now there's absolutely no doubt they can't contest, and it's a big win for MVP. Envy with a big play, and then with you can't really blame him for that. Like, he walked up to his secret shot. There's just so much pressure on the map now that it's difficult. Maybe you, if you send the courier, you know who's there. So, gotta get it somehow.
Now you get a second life onto the track. Like,
Yeah.
MP didn't have the greatest start after he picked up the Bloodstone, as he's now sitting at 5 charges only. But gonna get bigger as time goes on. Now he actually picked up an Ether Lens as his next major
that
item.
yeah, that is obviously a very good choice too after that bloodstone. You can be in a much safer position and get the splitter off. I don't think it increases the AoE the search range of Diabolic Edict. Having a lens, I have to admit I haven't played track since this item came out a single time. I think, but believe it shouldn't. But if it does, let's just say it does. It's incredible for sieging towers. You just stand 200 extra range away and deal damage. That would be amazing.
I need to add in those little information things to the abilities. Lens now increases the ability by this,
Yeah.
just like they do for the Aghanim Scepter. So looks like everybody's been listening to what you've been saying with the whole Secret's doing a crap ton of magical damage. I believe this is actually meant to be going into a pipe eventually. Over on the Vengeful Spirit, because they've already got obviously the bounty mech to go into green, so that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, the cloaks are actually flying out for both Febby as well as Dubu.
It's definitely the item to go for here. I was mentioning it earlier as a possible pickup Prophet, but if they can get it on Venge, then it's even better. Prophet can go for some stronger late game items or mid game items, and you can see MVP. They're showing some respect now. They're slowing down a little bit, even though they have the Aegis. If they had this Aegis 5 minutes ago, they would have just gone straight high ground and feared. But now that it's like Secret has struck a little bit of fear into them, and they're at least not running at their tier 3s yet, so they get a little bit of a breather.
Well, they can wait for the next big core items, like the Latrak going in for either Yules or Scythe. If it's a Yules, he's probably gonna be a lot closer to it after to take out this mid tower. But Prophet needs another 1800 for his Aghanim Scepter, and the PL's pretty close to Diffusal. When I say pretty close, he has Diffusal Blade. They bought him time in the bottom lane to do such a thing.
Really puts it into perspective how fast he got it in the previous game. Now he got a 21-minute one, and they're doing really well, and he is farmed with the Boots of Travel.
Does he see Envy? When they put the Observer Ward down, they can see Eternal Envy. The Wrath of Nature hits him, so he couldn't actually use his Blink Dagger straight away. The Orchid will connect as well.
Reload
and
save!
Puppy, can they actually get... No. Relocate wasn't triggered, and Puppy couldn't get in range for the Shallow Grave.
There is a buyback, though. They're definitely going to force that.
If he uses his buyback, like, you're slowing down the Aghanim Scepter on the Tiny. I suppose you're only 21 minutes in, so it's not as expensive.
I think they're going to lose racks if they don't. This 30-second window might be enough. Good thing for them is that they can do a very well-timed buyback together with Charge and Invoker, and then Envy can join in when they have to set up the fight if he wants to. We'll see what they do.
Well, there's the fortification out from Secret, and that was used before Diabolic Edict was triggered. So now MP is just going to melt through the range racks, and yeah, Secret, they're letting it go. 8 seconds until Envy is back up. Misery charging himself forward. There's also 2 minutes left on that Aegis Immortal, but the top racks is gone. MVP can just bail out of here and have no casualties. And really, is Envy going to get there in time? He doesn't TP himself forward. So they're waiting for MVP to overextend.
I think that was worth a buyback, honestly. I think they could have defended with a buyback, even against Aegis. And if they don't try to defend that and spend, I don't know, 500 gold on the Tiny to hold that lane of racks, there's nothing that prevents MVP from just farming a little bit more and then using all that team gold they just got from those barracks to just buy another item and make it just as hard as it would have been. Even if they don't have the Aegis. So, yep, there's the Yules for Lesh. Gonna go on.
They've almost finished the pipe as well. But the Vengeful Spirit practically has it. The Nature's Prophet also now has his Aghanim Scepter.
Oh, speaking of that, simultaneous pickup.
Yep.
So you're playing 1 Rex down minute 23 against an Ag's Prophet and a Bounty Hunter. And a Leshrac that can just push in the waves all the time. Pretty hard, gotta say. Decent damage here though on MP.
And he also dropped, trying to buy a little bit of space. BTs, they're coming in on the Treant and Puppy. Well, kind of felt like he was baited to come out to try and battle that one. Kuro comes in also with Diffuser Blade charges now available. And Puppy bought back instantly. He's happy to sacrifice his money. Misery going to charge himself forward, looking for the opening, but the Lances just fly in, and Misery stunned and controlled for the moment too. Eternal Envy, man, Shuriken toss bouncing around everywhere, and Pilotized Relocate doesn't save anyone. In fact, Misery is already down, and Team Secret, can they stop this Korean train? I don't think it's even really possible at the moment. Eternal Envy just losing too much life. They swap Puppy back in again with the Stun. There's no Shallow Grave to try and buy any form of time. Eternal Envy's dying underneath his own tier 3 tower, like he's going to toss Hua around, but it doesn't stop the happening. Forev kicks in. The trees are surrounding Weeha. He cannot bow out this one. Pardai is just watching his own friends die right now. The Aegis might be reclaimed, but it's
Game
GG.
over, man.
24 minutes.
God.
MVP. Not only do they 2-0 eHome, they 2-0 Team Secret to take the #1 seed out of Group A. What a quick series for them today.
Yeah, well, the Secret Draft was better, and they had a better chance, and they played better, and they still lost at minute 24. This team is looking really scary going into the main event now. I think, judging from what we've seen today, possibly contender for, you gotta say top 4 when you win one of the groups against these kind of teams that are in there for sure. Question is, what's the common factor for all their games? I feel like they've had Nature's Prophet almost 4 games, and their early aggression is definitely what you need to look out for going into the main event.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they go up against teams like
So
EG
good.
as well as OG as well, which will probably be a lot more like able to deal with such a style in their current form. But we'll check that out. But for now, we throw it back to the analysts to try and work out how did this happen? How are MVP in the winners bracket?
Welcome back.